Pray for a swift death.
What? What? No way! No way! That was beautiful. Yeah!
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Day 1 of EVO has just concluded. About time this video goes live, day 2 will be just beginning. But I wanted to do a little breakdown of everything that we got. It was kind of fascinating because there was a lot of reveals and announcements on day 1, and it was kind of different from past EVOs. Usually in past EVOs, all of the announcements are saved for the top 8s of whatever game. But this one, they had the PlayStation Lounge stream that was kind of going on all day, and they were just revealing stuff as time went on. Before we get into it, please be sure to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be covering EVO, but not only EVO, Street Fighter, Tekken, just how the FGC progresses over the next 1 to 2 years. I want to follow it and see how it's growing and expanding and also changing. So definitely stay tuned for that. Check out some of the other things I have on my channel. But with that being said, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let's jump into it. One thing I will say for people who do not know this, right now there is a massive Steam sale. For about every fighting game you can think of, there is some kind of sale happening right now on Steam. Tekken, Dragon Ball Z, Skullgirls, Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, Mortal Kombat, a lot of games. One thing that I said I would give an update for, and it finally happened, we have George PG. They finally released their Jun Kazama concept art. You guys know the one that I showed in the past where she had the white and orange outfit. Someone did a recolor of it and gave it black and white. But now George Pierre's his new outfit design, it kind of has more purple to it, more dark colors. When I look at this, I think it's like a combination of Jun Kazama and Unknown. You could definitely tell the quality of this got a lot better. I still kind of like the old one better. When I look at this one, it reminds me of Zafina, a lot of Zafina. But I do like the face model and the hair. George PG definitely went over and above with this new concept. So I thought I would show you guys that and give you an update on that. But as for announcements, you have Guilty Gear Strive. They basically released their schedule for the end of 2022 all the way till 2023. 4 characters is coming. They have crossplay, which is really cool because every time I see another fighting game do something, that means Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat 12 is going to have to implement this as well. Now, crossplay for Guilty Gear Strive is only PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Steam. Every single time they announce something, it was only for PlayStation and Steam. And I seen a bunch of people in the chat like Xbox ? Xbox ? And I don't know if they're doing that because it's like a PlayStation event, so they're not mentioning Xbox, or if it's really just not coming to Xbox. Because if my memory serves me right, when Capcom first announced Street Fighter 6, they only showed Sony 2, and that caused a lot of confusion because people thought it was going to be exclusive all over again. So we'll have to see if Xbox is invited to the party or not. You have Skullgirls announcing a new character, and actually their tournament bracket has concluded. Sonic Fox has been crowned king of that game.
Very simple to just chip out from that moment.
Oh! And Sonic Fox takes it 3-2 in a nail-biter. I don't think I could have written a better grand final set than that. For the 2 close friends to come down to the wire, that is going to go down in history.
It really is fascinating. Sonic Fox really is like one of the greatest fighting game players of all time. This guy has won so many different tournaments. Like, it seems like any game he puts his mind to, he can win. I hope one day Sonic Fox really decides to go into the Tekken community, because I know he reached Tekken God Prime with Zafina, but I want to see him compete. I think that would be really, really cool. One thing that was a major surprise too, they had a Tekken 5 DR tournament I was not expecting that, but it was a pleasure to see. That tournament is also concluded. They had a brief match on stream, the main stream. Reinhardt versus someone else. I can't remember who it was, but Reinhardt 2-0'd him. You had more commentators be revealed. You have Tasty Steve, James Chin for Street Fighter 6. And I also think they have more to show on Sunday. This one reveal isn't everything they have. I know there was one thing about Guilty Gear Strive 2 that really caught a lot of people by surprise. The developers showed early concept art for a lot of characters, but the one that caught everyone's eyes was Testament. You have Testament, some of the old concept designs looking super ripped, and everyone just lost their minds with this one. And people was also wondering who is in the cage. I don't know what Guilty Gear Strive character has blue skin like this, so who knows what the answer could be. Now, with all the news and stuff out of the way, we got to talk about Harada, Tekken 8, and Tekken just trending. Tekken 8 has been trending for like 5 days straight. With all of this attention being put on the game, you would have assumed that it was announced. But no, this is just the community begging for something. Harada still hasn't said whether or not he's going or he's there. His Twitter is complete radio silence. He's not liking anything. He's not retweeting anything. And same with Michael Murray. And I think they're not going to say anything. If we go back a year ago to 2021, they did the exact same thing. They didn't like anything. They didn't tweet anything. The whole weekend of EVO, they sat silently. And then once it was over, they started like talking about, you know, whatever they normally talk about. So I feel like they're going to do the same thing again. I would be surprised if they show up. I know a lot of people, and this is why I kind of don't like that main PlayStation 4 lounge, because they're doing reveals all throughout the day, and I feel like that's kind of taken away from the pools. People are watching this stream hoping Harada shows up or whatever game developer, and it's like you have all of these wonderful matches just going by and no one's like paying attention. I think as the tournament winds down, top 48, 28, you know, top 8, people will start focusing more on the matches. But I just saw so many people spamming, where's Tekken 8? Where's Harada? People looking in the backgrounds trying to see if they see him walking through the crowd. It's madness. It's madness. The drive is definitely there, but I think it's not gonna happen. I'm definitely staying true to what I said leading up to EVO, that Harada probably is going to let this event pass. He's going to let Street Fighter 6 have the floor, and then next year, or you know, after, he's going to start talking about Tekken 8 and maybe reveal it at the Tekken World Tour Finals or whatever it's called. I think it's just kind of sad because a lot of the Tekken players are focusing on where's Harada instead of the event itself. This is really a important time for fighting games. So many games is trending. Guilty Gear, Skullgirls, Tekken, Street Fighter, and it's like you want to appreciate that because EVO's gonna fly by so quick, you know. I also have one thing here that I want to talk about. I seen a tweet that says misinformation prevention. If you're just learning that 1, EVO was purchased by Sony in 2021, and 2, there are no Smash Bros. Games at EVO, that's 100% Nintendo's decision to block Smash at EVO. Sony haven't enforced any restriction changes to EVO. Now, this is true, but it's not really focusing on the whole console wars aspect of things. I was wondering how much PlayStation was going to change EVO, and they changed it a whole lot. They have the PlayStation Lounge that's going on the whole entire stream. They have sponsored by Sony everywhere. It really is a PlayStation event now. And in terms of PlayStation, in terms of Xbox and Nintendo, they aren't going to sign up for that, because I seen a lot of people saying that this time around, EVO doesn't really feel like EVO. EVO feels more like a convention than, you know, a fighting game tournament. Like usually when you walk in, the consoles is right there, but now you have this big floor where it's like convention stuff. cosplay and t-shirts and all that stuff. And then way in the back you have the monitors and the games, and then even like spread across you have all of the individual stages. So you can see how Sony shaped it, and you can honestly see why Nintendo pulled out, because Smash, when it's normally there, it's the biggest thing. It's normally dominates EVO. If Nintendo let Smash be there, they would only be helping their rivals. They would only be helping PlayStation grow. If they announced any characters, if they showed off like anything. So I really don't put the blame on Nintendo for pulling out, because the way that Sony took it over, well, they bought it. The way that they bought it and changed everything so it really feels like a PlayStation event, you can't blame Nintendo for not wanting to be involved in that, because it literally is sponsored by PlayStation. I really don't put the blame on Nintendo or Sony. I don't think any of them was at fault. I think this is just something that happened, and it's kind of unfortunate, but this is what happens when fighting game gets bigger. When these events grow and become so massive, you have EVO, Tekken 8, Street Fighter trending for a whole week. These companies are going to come in and buy these events, buy these games and stuff like that, and the rivals to those companies are going to detach themselves. So that's just like part of growing pains. As you get bigger, rival companies will start dividing and taking slices of the pie, and depending on what games you like, you either will be left on the plate or you will be eaten. As for what Nintendo and Smash is, I don't know. I just want to talk about this because it is a 100% true tweet, but I think it paints Nintendo in a bad light. And the way I see it is that their hand was forced. They didn't want to pull it from EVO, right? They let Smash Bros and Ultimate be at EVO, forever. And they only pulled it because, their hand was forced, right? But that's going to be it for this one. I just want to talk about this because there is a lot to unpack in this day one of EVO. A lot of changes, a lot of announcements, a lot of matches. So much has happened, and in this video I just want to do a recap for day one. I don't know if I'll do a recap for day 2 and day 3 separately. Depending on how much is announced and how much happens, I will or I will not. But definitely subscribe, because either way there's going to be a part 2 coming. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.